Real Madrid are on paper the favourites to win it. They are the betting favourites to win it. They are the sensible favourites to win it. If Real Madrid do not win this, it is a cataclysmic failure. It is a catastrophic debacle if they don't end up winning this tournament. That is what it is. Teams like Bayern Munich, of course, they are in the mix. But Real Madrid are the favourites. But one thing I will say is that if your team is in it, there's a chance. My team is in it. Are you in the Lord's army?
Welcome to Crossfire on Pulse Sports, brought to you by LiveScore Bet. And I'm your host for today, T-Talks United. And I'm here with Tunde and Tosin to discuss if the FIFA Club World Cup is a total waste of time or is actually important. Tunde, what's your take on this?
It depends. It depends on what perspective you are looking at this from. If you are looking at it from the perspective of clubs who did not make it, yes. Yes, it is a waste of time. And I know this one is a Barcelona fan, and they are not there. I don't know what club is about. Okay, but from T-Talks United, I assume it's not West Ham or Newcastle United. It's Manchester United. So the two of you is a waste of time to you. As a Chelsea fan, obviously something to look forward to. And even let me stop talking as a fan. As like, if you want to look at the reason the Club World Cup was, expanded to this format in the first place, it is necessary. But to Gianni Infantino, whose entire business model is profit. FIFA had always, sort of been jealous of the success of the Champions League and the fact that they can't replicate it. They only have, the regular World Cup, which at the time was the 32-team tournament and only came once every 4 years. The Club World Cup that was every year was just a 7-team tournament, and people did not really care about it. So there was not a lot of money going into that or coming out of it for that matter. So the entire point of this Club World Cup, the expanded version, is exactly what the Champions League used to be before they changed the format. 32 teams, 8 groups, TV rights, 1 billion in total prize money. Just for participating, you are guaranteed between 10 to 20 million, depending on your standing as a club, just for participating. Then, depending on how far you go, you can make as high as 120 million, which is more than you get for winning the Champions League. So it is very, very relevant and necessary from a financial perspective, from a footballing perspective, because it also now becomes another important trophy for teams to win. Before you win the Club World Cup, yeah, but who cares? Now you win the Club World Cup because it only happens once every 4 years, and you are facing genuinely the best teams in the world. Because for the most part, participation is only guaranteed by winning your continental trophy at least once in the past 4 years in consideration, or ranking very highly in the coefficient of FIFA. Before the end of it, they don't use the one for your competition. If they use the one for your competition, RB Salzburg would not have made it. They used the FIFA's actual coefficient rankings. So that's basically what it is. It is relevant, but it's from where you look at it. And from everywhere I see it, it just makes sense. Even for the teams involved, it is a more competitive, more expensive, more interesting preseason. No, there's no team that wouldn't take this deal. United finished the season and went to go and embarrass themselves in Malaysia. Whatever they were doing, played against shawarma cookers. When teams are actually signing players and preparing to take place in a prestigious tournament. Yes, it has not come without its own controversies. The team that was kicked out, the Mexican team, Club Leon, because of dual ownership with Club Pachuca, another Mexican team, and then you replace with a playoff, which LAFC won. So there has been controversy, and even the fact that Club Leon's name was even originally engraved in the trophy because they were supposed to be one of the teams participating, and they now had to claim their name, which I'm sure must have cost a lot of money. Congratulations to whoever got that contract. They had to remove their name because another club, and a Costa Rican club, actually, Alawense, even reported Club Leon, hoping that they would be the one that, because they were next in the coefficient ranking, and the FIFA told them, snitches get stitches. So, plus the reporter and the reported, both of you are not in the tournament anymore. So it has its own controversies, yes, but I'm looking forward to it as a fan. As a Chelsea fan, I want to see what Chelsea is going to do in that group. I want to see who wins this as a football reporter, as someone that does this for a living. We've never seen anything like this before. It's happening in the United States, so there's new things that always welcome. I'm sure my uneducated opponent has a different view.
Tosin, what's your take on this?
This uneducated bullshit that you give. So let's look at it objectively. I do not believe that the process in which FIFA has gone about this FIFA Club World Cup has been the right process. And obviously, we knew the Club World Cup, 7 teams basically, winners of. Now, if you want to make it a 4-year tournament and expand, and why is it 32 teams? The numbers seem a bit off. That when you start having, because you say you want to bring the champions of champions, but LAFC is there. What are they doing there? You want to have, what's Juventus doing there? What are all these wine sellers? What are they doing there? You understand? So like, it's just like the motive of the tournament and some of the people participating in the tournament, they are not in the same, I don't understand. So you want to say this is the elite of the elite. So, but that's the first problem with it. Secondly, in my own opinion, there used to be a tournament that used to come as a dress rehearsal before the World Cup. And that tournament, so for a lot of people that are young, you may not know that tournament used to be the Confederations Cup. And that Confederations Cup basically was the best dress rehearsal for the World Cup the next year. Because it provides a similar element to the FIFA World Cup, that it is country football, not club football. So what you want people to get into their mood is bragging rights, defending the national pride. That is the anthem and the ambience you want to create a year before the World Cup. Not some random player from Al Ahly or Pyramids, like who knows all this, or from one desert worker from Al Hilal. You understand? Like who are these people? You understand? You want to bring in the champions of each country, and you could, because most countries actually do their tournaments every 4 years. Some do every 2 years, like Africa. You may bring in the winners and the runners up, make it much more juicy. The mere fact that FIFA is trying to dabble into club football already signals, in my own personal, it signals greediness, it signals corruption. You understand? And if you look at the details of the deals that have led up to the FIFA World Cup and the subsequent bids of the next FIFA tournaments, you see that there has been some shady, let's just use the word shady, some allegedly shady deals. You understand? So, in my opinion, I don't care, but everybody, like, we are the fans in the US, there's a huge fan base for football. Not obviously, football is soccer is still behind their major sports like American football, like NBA, like NHL, but football is coming up. If you really want to, because that was the whole point of this World. The US just hosted the World Cup in 1994. It's not that far. It's not that far. Yes, yeah, it's about 32 years ago, but like, it's not that far. Like, the US getting the hosting right back, because there was a lot of controversy when Russia won the World Cup bid in 2018 and the US was strong in face that was supposed to be them. The whole point of them getting the World Cup bid along with Mexico and Canada was to reignite and see if football can actually become a major staple in America, because they've tried since the integration of David Beckham to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the MLS league hasn't gotten to the heights it's supposed to get to. Maybe the World Cup can change that. The only way you can really do that is through the use of national pride. And as far as I'm concerned, FIFA got it wrong by bringing club football instead.
Okay, so Tunde, you think that it's an important tournament. What are your predictions? Who do you think would win this?
Yeah, before I talk about who, I want to address something you said and the hypocrisy that I have to deal with every time I'm on this show. He was mentioning teams that should not be here. He conveniently left out one team when he was talking about the teams that should not be there. And I want to ask why you did not call Inter Miami.
Should I call all the teams that I said they left off?
No problem.
They left. Some teams are not supposed to be
no
there.
problem.
You use your brain.
That's why I'm here.
The little brain that God gave you, utilize it now.
Don't worry. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Are you done? You are done. I've been fantastic. Me, I will tell you why Inter Miami are here. And it's because I thank you very much for giving him that name, FIFA Boy, by the way.
Yes.
It's because FIFA Boy, FIFA cannot afford to offend FIFA Boy. That is what it is. of all the football conspiracies, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but this one I believe it. Inter Miami did not win their continental championship, did not win their national championship, are not anywhere close in terms of the ranking of coefficient teams for North America. The three major metrics, the three only metrics that exist, in fact, those are the three only metrics that exist to qualify for this tournament. Guess how Inter Miami qualified? FIFA magically came up with a fourth metric. I said they are reserving one slot for the host nation. And they literally gave it to Inter Miami, and the reason they specified was that Inter Miami won the National Shield or whatever that bullshit trophy was. If you don't know what National Shield is, don't worry yourself. The Principal Cup is more prestigious than it. The National Shield is the fourth most prestigious trophy in the United States. The United States' most prestigious trophy does not even matter to any of us. The National Shield, what they call this thing, they know you. So the way American sports works, whether you top the league or not, everybody's going to playoffs. It's playoffs that matter, and then in playoffs will now determine who wins the league. Because that Miami topped the league and went to playoffs, they didn't used to give trophy for topping the league before, but as soon as FIFA boy touchdown, the first find name for the trophy, they package up, give am sharp. And because of that bullshit participation trophy, which our producer has not let me know, is even supporters shit. Whatever I use what as the national, if like win a UNTW Cup, you know consign me. What I know is that Inter Miami, by any metric before God and man, should not be in this tournament.
I think that is the shady thing he was
That's the corruption
allegedly.
and the greed that I was talking about. Another thing I said I want to address. Yes, I already specified this tournament came from greed.
Yes.
Because FIFA wants to get what UEFA has been getting from the clubs. They want to tap into that juice as well. That's greed. But even though greed often leads to corruption, greed and corruption are not always intertwined. Greed can just mean you push you to, gain more money. You can gain it through the right means. If you keep going with your greed, eventually you go out of line and now have to be doing illicit things. That's where corruption comes into line. So I'm not going to go out on a limb and accuse FIFA of corruption for setting up the tournament. Where we accuse them of corruption is how certain teams found themselves in these tournaments. How did Inter Miami make it? How did RB Salzburg make it? And would RB Salzburg have made it if they did not have the backing of one of the biggest institutions of the world, which is Red Bull? RB Salzburg made it because they used the coefficient rankings that does not take into account the Europa League or the Conference League. By that coefficient, no, your team did not still make it. They did not cheat you. You just no make up. But by that coefficient ranking, teams like Rangers, things like I think Sevilla and Athletic Bilbao, if I'm not mistaken. But I know Rangers was actually the team that should have gotten that slot. But because most of their coefficient ranking was amassed in the Europa League, UEFA said no, we are not using that. We are only using coefficient ranking from Champions League. And by that, Salzburg was the next best team. So Salzburg got it. So those are the questionable part of the tournament. Who will win it? Of course, it's one of the European teams now. The way it is set up, everybody is guaranteed to play 7 games. No, the winner, I beg your pardon. The winner is guaranteed to play 7 games. If you can, I don't see anything that's not an European team winning 7 games in this tournament. Doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter. Club Pachuca are a very good team. The Mexican team are a very, very good team. Arguably the best team in North America, in fact. I don't see how they win 7 games. Alakli, a very, very good team. African heritage. Mamelodi Sundowns, very, very good team. They're not winning 7 games against European teams. That's just what it is. So it's definitely going to be one of the European teams. And which European team is here that has a history of winning international tournaments and has the best players available in the tournament and has even just signed one of the best players in the world in the history of his position in Chester at the hand of it is Real Madrid. Real Madrid are on paper the favourites to win it. They are the betting favourites to win it. They are the sensible favourites to win it. If Real Madrid do not win this, it is a cataclysmic failure. It is a catastrophic debacle if they don't end up winning this tournament. That is what it is. Teams like Bayern Munich, of course. they are in the mix. But Real Madrid are the favourites. But one thing I will say is that if your team is in it, there's a chance. My team is in it. Are you in the Lord's army? I will never pay all my father's house. I don't finish you.
Tosin, I know you think it's not an important tournament, but who are you predicting to win it?
See, both of you.
It's paid out.
you honestly, like, the difference between both of you, I don't know.
She's
Both of you are
definitely
the,
final.
both of you are the same. Are you sure about that?
Wow.
Let's go to because you just talked for like 25 minutes to end up agreeing with my points.
How?
I basically said some teams did not deserve to get into that position. And you said, yes, teams like Inter Miami. Am I going to mention all the teams? Like,
Maybe it's because you're emphasizing on others.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm supposed to tell you. So, but to the structure of I've already discussed that. When you look at this tournament, obviously, I'm not going to say Real Madrid cannot win it. But I've told you that one of the reasons why Real Madrid are favorites to win it, especially in tournament football, is that tournament football, unlike most, it has, because of the one game importance of it, you need game changers. So Real Madrid have a lot of game changers on their team. But people that also have a lot of game changers on their team are Bayern Munich. They have a lot of game changers on their team with Coman, with Musiala, with Olise on their team. Another team that has a very, very good chance at the reigning European champions in PSG. And I already described the same methodology to them winning the Champions League with the amount of attacking force they have. Now, Chelsea is a curious case because they are not an elite European team. They are not elite. They are not an elite Premier League team. They are just they're just a middle of the park team. Just camouflaging among the European contingents to the tournament. But they do have a lot of melanin in their team. So, I mean, that could work in their favor. But the way FIFA tournaments have always been set up, and we've seen this time and time again, even though the team is a little bit different because national teams, there's always a sense of upset or shocker. For club football on the FIFA stage, I'm looking at certain teams, and those teams are actually teams that I feel their players have a little bit of experience playing on the big stage. And you may find it difficult to believe it, but a team like Al Hilal, even though the Saudi Arabia League is nothing to write home about, but they have certain players on their roster that have the new generation of football. They have the speed, the pace, the ability to work in tight spaces, and obviously the skin, you understand? So to be able to perform in those big sports. So if I'm to rank my own favorites based on the grouping so far, I would say PSG will be the favorites, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. Those will be the favorites for the tournament. But the significance of the tournament, nobody will care after the tournament. In fact, it's actually detrimental to those that participate in the tournament because it just cuts short their preparation for the upcoming season that starts around August, basically. So the recovery time from the FIFA Club World Cup to the start of the new season is basically non-existent. But it works for a team like Barcelona, one of the teams that have like a very, very strong foundational structure. And obviously going to the Camp Nou in 2025-26 season, you see a reinvigorated squad and a team obviously that can compete for all trophies in Europe. And we were denied this season. But it was actually delayed, not denied. There's a new season. And Barcelona and Catalonia will rise again.
Why did this get political?
We've come to the end of this interesting episode where Tunde believes that Real Madrid can possibly win the FIFA Club World Cup and it's an important tournament, while Tosin believes that PSG or Bayern Munich or any club with melanin players in their team will most likely win this tournament, and he doesn't think that it's as important, maybe because his club is not there. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I remain T-Talks United, and this is Crossfire, brought to you by LiveScore Bet.